Hello and welcome back. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Erin.
And this is the Getaways Podcast.
Okay, the plague has finally lifted.
It's been a minute.
I got sick and then lost my voice. And then Lisa got sick and
then I had a little surgery. So it was like we've just been housebound for a long time and no appropriate voice for you guys to listen to.
So we're pretending like it was spring break, but it wasn't.
No.
The plague had just landed.
It was a terrible spring break, in fact, because we couldn't do anything.
It was horrible.
Yeah, no good.
It's Easter Monday here in the Netherlands right now. So happy
is.
past Easter for everybody.
Which is a holiday across most of Europe. So it's sort of nice to have that extra day of the weekend.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about, on the website, one of the most clicked posts that we have is Croatia.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, the best beaches in Croatia. And we're only going to cover Dubrovnik today, but people seem interested in Croatia.
And especially after the Game of Thrones phenomenon, they shot a lot of it in Dubrovnik.
They did.
And surrounding areas
They
right
did.
there. So we were there, when were we there?
2021.
Okay, so that was still like a COVID summer.
Oh, yeah. We were wearing masks.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as we start talking about how we got there, you'll be reminded how COVID-y it was.
Yeah. So, all right. So you want to start with how we got there?
So we spent the first week in Puglia, which we've talked about. And then we drove up to Ancona in kind of up the coast from Puglia.
In like Marquet, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
And took a ferry from Ancona to Split. And it was not peak COVID, but we had been in more lockdowns in 2021. And so I believe they were taking temperatures, weren't they, at the port?
Yeah.
They weren't doing COVID tests, but they were taking temperatures. And Dylan got really sick the night before we were supposed to go, remember? Like flu-y.
No, you did have to take a COVID test, remember? Because we went and you had to have a negative test to get on because we had to go to that weird place like at the port and get tested.
No, I remember that. I just thought it was temperatures. It was COVID test.
It was COVID test.
We would have never gotten on had he had COVID. But when we got to the port, he looked poorly. It's such a 1920s thing to say. And so we all were fine. We got on the boat. Dylan didn't leave the room. He stayed in the cabin the whole time.
On the boat?
Yeah, on the boat. And then we just took an overnight ferry over to Split. And then when we got to Split, because Croatia was not part of the Schengen, is it now?
I think it might be, but I'm not 100% sure.
The line, once we got in our car and off the boat, which is always a stressful thing, the line to go through immigration was so long. Like we were in line for like 2 or 3 hours.
And what you don't think about is that when you get off the boat and you have to wait like that, it was like hotter than the center of the sun.
Balls, yeah.
And you don't think that you're going to need a full tank of gas the second you get off the boat just to get into the country to be able to get gas. Like it was, but we sat there for hours.
It was not fun. And so then once we finally got through there, it was a pretty easy drive down to Dubrovnik. I think it was like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And you have to go through Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah. So what's interesting about like at the war in the 90s when they split up the land, Herzegovina wanted a bit of beach. So they negotiated a bit of beach.
Like a mile.
Right smack dab in the middle of the Croatian, what was the Croatian coast. So you go Croatia, Bosnia, then back into Croatia. And like, it's kind of just the weirdest thing.
It's like, it really isolates Dubrovnik when you think about it though. And remember Katie wanted to stamp so badly in Bosnia, but they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. Croatia did it. But we got stamped going into Croatia, but not into Bosnia.
So then once you get into the little area past Bosnia, on the way into Dubrovnik, we were kind of on a mountain road, not a mountain road, like a cliff kind of. And remember there were fruit stands on both sides of the road all the way down there, like really elaborate fruit stands.
Like trucks pull in, but they have like, like coconut fountains. Yeah, I mean, it was, but we went through quite a bit of the countryside right there because there was a lot of farmland and stuff. But a very nice drive and a nice way to kind of see a little bit of the countryside.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So then we got into Dubrovnik.
Which is, so like most European cities, there's the old town and then there's sort of the surrounding areas. So we stayed and the old town is surrounded by city walls. And that is Old Town. I mean,
Old Town.
Yeah, and we'll come back to that. But we stayed just a few blocks away from Old Town, but
on a cliff.
The whole city is built on a cliff, really. I mean, there are...
Except for the Old Town, because that's down below.
But even still, you have to take stairs from the top of the walls to get down to like the base of Old Town.
Yeah.
But there are staircases probably every 100 meters that go all the way from sea level to the top of the city, really. So like
like where we were.
Yeah. So our Airbnb was probably 5 or 6 staircases from sea level.
It was high.
Yeah. But I mean, everything was. I mean, there was unless you literally just went straight out your door and parallel to the sea, you had to go up or down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it was hot.
Yeah.
So walking Rex was like having climbing a mountain every day.
Yeah. If you stayed outside of the Old Town and not on the cliffs where we were, like if you stayed in the newest part of the city, you could drive and there's a parking lot down right by the walls. And so there's no stairs.
Right.
You just walk by that place where they used to quarantine plague victims and go right into the city.
Which that place is funny because we were just coming off COVID.
Yeah.
But that was like the original plague, like the Black Plague is where they housed people that were sick, but they've since turned it into a club.
And a like a tourism shop.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. But I like walking around. I mean, I know it's exhausting because there were so many stairs and stuff, but you get to see so much more when you're just walking around there.
Yes. Getting down, I never bothered that. That was not a bother to me. It was easy. It was steep, but it was easy. And then once we got down to the main road, we walked past Banja Beach. Was it Banja Beach?
Yeah.
And right into the city.
Yeah.
Which was great. Now, coming home was always dreadful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a lot of stairs.
Yeah. Just be prepared. It's not really that bad, but you just should be prepared.
Getting to any of the beaches, stairs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's an active city.
Yes.
Like you can't have very many.
Correct. It's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah. All right. So should we talk about downtown, about Old Town?
Yeah.
So Katie and I took a tour, like the first morning we met the guide, I think at like 8 a.m. or something ridiculous. And she took us on a full tour of Old Town, which is absolutely beautiful. And it's right on the sea and it's just beautiful. But what she sort of concentrated on was a lot of the war and like explaining to us what happened. And we'd literally be walking by the most beautiful buildings and she'd be like, look, and she would point out and you could see just bullet holes like all around the sides of the buildings.
That was recent.
I mean, it was in the 90s, like late 80s and 90s. So, that was sort of an interesting thing because it's got so much history going back, hundreds and hundreds of years, and also, in our lifetimes of destruction and change, and even talking about the borders changing. I mean, it's still a very much alive and evolving place.
I will I preface this by saying because it was still COVID, cruise ships were still banned from coming in. So we got very lucky on this trip.
Yes, because we heard from a lot of people that cruise ships really kind of invade and overtake the city. So much so that we heard from like 2 restaurant owners, remember, that they wouldn't let cruise people come in and even use the bathrooms. Which I can understand, but if you're a cruiser, what the heck do you do? I mean, because there's not really like that many public places to go. I
blame the cruise companies. They've really tried to capitalize every dollar they can, and they're bringing in too many people.
Yeah, no, and it was definitely like I felt like people were relaxed because they weren't there. I
mean, it was the perfect time to be there. It was so nice and not crowded.
Yeah. But Old Town is really, really, really beautiful. There's tons of great restaurants. There's open air markets. There's, like I said, there's a lot of Game of Thrones stuff. If that's your world, it is not ours. But there are specific tours for it. Yeah. There are shops for it. There's all kinds of things. Well,
there's like 5 Game of Thrones museums.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a tiny, tiny, tiny Old Town.
Tiny. Yeah. And then, like I said before, the whole Old Town is surrounded by the walls.
Yeah.
which we did the next day, which we could actually take Rex.
We did take Rex. We went very early in the morning because it was very hot and there's no shade on the top of the walls. You're literally walking on top of the walls, and they've got some little restaurants up there and some like guard gates that you can go into, but you're just literally walking around the city.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
Well, and it's a really nice way to get a bird's eye view of the sea and the coastline and the city. I mean, it's just kind of a perspective that you wouldn't get on any other way.
Yeah. And if you do that, there's this place over on the ocean side of the wall that serves coffee drinks, and they have this coffee drink that's just full of ice cream. It was the best thing I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, plus it was like, I mean, we keep saying it was hot, but I mean, it was hot. It was, you know, in Fahrenheit, it was probably like 110.
Yeah.
And it was brutal, even at the crack of dawn when we went to do the walls. So it was just kind of like the perfect way to end the 2-hour walk around the walls before heading to the beach.
It was. So do you want to go to beaches or you want to go to islands next?
We can go to the island because that's right there.
Okay. We went to 2 different islands on this trip. We went to Lokrum Island, which is just a 30-minute ferry ride from Dubrovnik, Old Town. And you can see it from our house. Our house, if you sat out on the balcony, which we had a great Airbnb with a cold plunge pool. And
it wasn't supposed to be.
It was supposed to be a hot tub, but we made it a cold plunge pool. And you could see Dubrovnik, the old city, and then you could see Lokrum Island. So it was, the views were crazy.
Yeah.
And so you catch a ferry down in a port by the city walls, and it's like a 30-minute ferry across to this island, and it's not a big island. We walked around the entire thing. There's peacocks everywhere. I remember that.
Well, we went there because we signed up for like a scavenger hunt kind of thing.
Oh, yes.
And so we met this woman and she gave us this list of clues, and we just kind of got to then follow them and explore the whole island. And there was a lake it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. So many beautiful beaches. I mean, I wouldn't say beaches, places where you could climb down to the ocean.
Yeah.
But they were packed, and I'm not packed, but they were people were there.
Yeah. But there was restaurants on the island. We ended up having lunch there.
We did.
Before we came back. But I mean, there was gardens. There was that big museum housey kind of thing with the gardens all around it. Yeah.
And then they had one of the original from the Game of Thrones thrones there. Remember, Dylan took a picture in the throne?
Yeah. So just you wouldn't want to spend days there.
No.
I don't even think there's a hotel to spend the night there. There might be.
We spent a couple hours there.
But yeah, I mean, it's like an afternoon, you know, where you can go have a nice walk around. We actually got lost. Remember that?
We did.
Which I don't know how, because it's not
that we did get lost.
But you can have a nice lunch. And it's also just nice to get out on a boat and sort of get off the mainland and see a little bit of island life.
Now, we did that, and which was great. But for other people that have other interests, Katie did not go with us. She went scuba diving to Shipwreck and had a great time. So that's something else we don't do. But if you are into that, there's a lot of good scuba diving there.
Yeah. All right. And then our boat day, we went to another island.
Yes. On our boat day, we went to an island called Lopud. It was a boat day. And that was just a stop where we stopped. We stopped at a lot of swims, but he took us to this island for lunch.
Well, so we rented a boat just for us.
Yeah, just
for a half day.
4 of us.
Yeah, but it was only like $100 or something stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just us, a little speedboat, and our own guy just kind of took us around.
So he took us around. We stopped for some swims, and then he took us to Lopud Island, which is a very small island. There's no cars on it, correct? No. And so I just remember we were pulling up. He couldn't get us all the way to the island. Obviously, it's a boat. So he got us as close as he could, and then we had to swim in. But we all had our phones, and we were trying to figure out how to maneuver with our phones. And as we're pulling up, there was just a naked man, nudie alert, standing on the rocks. I don't even know how he got out there. We see a lot of naked men in Croatia.
Yeah.
Remember Pog Island?
Yeah, no, definitely. Which is all good.
Fine.
It was just surprising because we were trying to manage, holding our hands way above our heads, trying to waddle through the water. And all of a sudden, well, hello there.
So this beach was a sandy beach.
Yeah,
and
one of the only.
Rare.
Yeah.
So rare in Croatia. And so it was a sandy beach. It was lovely. We didn't really spend a lot of time on the beach. We went to this beach cafe, which was so amazing.
Yeah, we had good food there.
We did. And we just ate and then we left.
Yeah, well, because we still had the boat.
And we had Rex.
And it was on the clock.
To go back to. Yeah, yeah.
So it was just kind of like getting to explore. But the beach, the sand was like white, fine sand.
And I think the only way there is getting a private boat to take you there.
But most of the beaches in the Dubrovnik area are rocky, which is...
small pebbles.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, not sand.
Yeah.
But I mean, which is kind of a blessing and a curse because it kills your feet so much to walk on them. But it also lets the water be crystal clear because there's nothing getting kicked up.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to wear water shoes, but it's worth it. So then closer to, or on the mainland, like from Dubrovnik, we've got...
We went to Banja Beach a lot. That was the main one that you could just see the old town.
Yeah, where you just went down, and you're there.
That's the only one that I went to in Dubrovnik from our house.
Right. And then there's the one that's...
You went to Plaza Beach?
Yeah, which is just
on the other
a
side
little
of that
bit
fancy
further
hotel,
away.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot of steps to get down to that one.
Yeah, which is why I went alone.
Yes. And then the Piece de Resistance, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Was, we had to drive, it was what, like 40 minutes, 30 minutes?
30 minutes south, yeah.
It's called...
You throw that down, would you?
Pasjaka.
Oh, wow. That was like a kind of a strange accent, but I'm going to go with it.
Pasjaka Beach. And you park in this like dirt lot, and then you're like, where do we go? Where do we go? And you have to hug a cliff. And it is the longest, steepest walk down to this beach.
Yeah.
Then you get to like the steepest staircases ever.
Yeah. I think I've told this story before, but this is where that guy, because I had was still getting used to my hip, because I had a hip replacement, and I was still getting used to it. There was nowhere really to hold on. So some strange man just had to kind of catch me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We did talk about this on the Croatian beach episode.
Yeah.
But like when I say you're hugging a cliff, like it is a cliff walk. Like it is I'm afraid of heights. So it was a little, getting there down to the beach freaked me out a little bit. I motored through, but I couldn't talk to anybody. It was a moment. And getting back, I was like, oh, this is really going to suck. But getting back up and getting to the car, like it felt like it took 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when you're going down too, you can't really see where you're going.
Yeah.
So it just feels like you're kind of meandering and unsafe for a really long time with no payoff. And then when you make that last turn and you almost fall down the last set of stairs, then you're like, oh my gosh, this was so worth it.
And I think I may have said this in the Croatian beaches podcast episode, but when we were standing at the top looking down before we started to descend the staircase, I was like, what the heck happens if somebody gets hurt down here? There is, other than
helicopter.
boat, there is no way to get there.
Or helicopter and like airlift them out.
Where were they going to?
You just drop. You drop something and put them on a stretcher.
I mean, it is. So as we're down there and Lisa and Katie decide they're going to try to swim to Montenegro, I'm just sitting there going, I hope they make it back because there's no help coming.
Katie and I are both very good swimmers.
But was there cliff jumping? No, that wasn't
there.
It's like so beautiful. There's pictures up on our website. It's just hard to explain because you literally, when you're walking around the cliff, all of a sudden you can see below you, the beach opens up and you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And there's like a little river behind it. It's so
Uh-huh.
nice.
I mean, all of the beaches that we went to near Dubrovnik and in Croatia in general are pretty spectacular. I mean, there's a reason why tourism has spiked and cruise ships go there. And it's because both land and sea are pretty phenomenal.
Yes.
And I mean, the old town, you know, like I said, there's great shopping. There's great restaurants. We had really nice seafood.
Oh, we had great mussels.
Yeah, I think we all know how much I love mussels. Yeah, I mean, like they do the nice like aperitivo situation. You know what's funny? And I was thinking about this when I knew we were going to do the podcast. Do you remember the thing that, and now it's one of Katie's like staple foods, but she said over and over and over again about the food in Croatia? That the chicken was exceptionally good.
Oh, the chicken was really good. It was really good. And when we get to Split, we've got a funny chicken story. But it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a weird thing to say, but there's just something different about it there. I don't know what they do, but it's just different.
Their grocery stores are really good.
Really good, yeah.
It's such a special place.
But
we're
we
trying
did
to go back.
Yeah. So like I said, the seafood was really great. the ice cream is also really great.
Ice cream is great. Yeah.
But we actually had Bosnian food.
Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal in the old town of Dubrovnik. We brought it home.
We did take out, yeah.
But it's famous. Like everybody told us to try there.
Yeah.
But the Bosnian food is so good.
And such a weird name for Bosnian food. But ignore that and just order because it's really, really good. And
that's the only place I can remember the name of and the only meal that really in Dubrovnik. Everything was good, but that meal was...
Yeah, we went to another place that was on the opposite side of like the beach for like where I would walk Rex, that park that you and Katie went to.
Oh, yeah. It's on on my blog post about Dubrovnik. I didn't write it down.
Okay.
It's good. It's got like cute fancy drinks and it's got like a little like terrace that overlooks the city.
Yeah. So I found them because we did that haunted tour.
Yes, which we should talk about really quick. We did do a haunted tour at night.
Yeah. But it was
really cool.
Yeah, it was kind of this woman in like, she was almost wearing a black cape
like a
or
witch.
something.
Yeah.
And she took us through the cemetery and she told us like all of these stories about things that happened there and then took us into kind of this parky
sanitarium too, right? Like a mental, like a little mental.
Oh,
like
I think I checked out there.
Mental.
I may have gone to my special place while she was talking about that. But then we like came across the street to the seaside and went through this like foresty park.
Uh-huh.
And it was a little creepy because it was night and she was talking and, in her woo
But were all
voice.
the battles
back
in the way in the would happen.
Yeah. So, but that during the day is actually where I would walk Rex because it was a beautiful park.
Yeah,
it had
and shade.
absolutely spectacular views of the sea. I mean, you're so far up on these cliffs and you look down and you can see the sea floor.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. But the haunted tour was fun.
One of my favorite things we did there, to be honest. I love a good ghost story.
Yeah, I don't, but it was nice. And it was nice to just sort of see another area that we hadn't seen before.
So we were only there a week, and that's our week.
Yeah.
But we did a lot.
But the surrounding area outside of and especially up and sort of behind Old Town, is pretty modern.
It's very modern. Yeah, there's malls, everything, movie theaters. Now, you're also like just a really quick drive to Montenegro from Dubrovnik, which we really want to get to sometime.
And Bosnia. I mean, if you wanted to go into Bosnia, there's obviously the whole mile of coast that you can explore, but you can also drive into like...
Yeah. We've never really done any research on that. We should probably.
No. I mean, Sarajevo is somewhere I've always wanted to go.
Yeah. I only know that from like the news.
I know that from you too.
Oh, yes. So the moral of the story is Dubrovnik, big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Yeah, no. And I think that the beaches are fantastic, but also, you should be aware of the cruise ships, I believe, are 100% back now. So you should, sort of weigh your options of what you want to experience. Like if you don't mind the crowds, go in summer, but be prepared for hotter than the sun.
I think I would really have to consider when we went, if we went back, knowing the cruise traffic.
I mean, I think Old Town gets BANANAS.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it's just like Disneyland.
Yeah. Yeah. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. And
go in the fall.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it depends on what you really want.
Yeah.
Like, if you want a beach experience and you're willing to do that, or you're going to pick a special time that you're going to go into Old Town, like just navigate with that information.
So good news is we're back.
We are.
We're back till summer break. So there'll be new episodes every week.
And
check out the website, www.thegetawayswithaz.com. Check out all our old episodes. We got a lot of really good summer beach episodes up. So if you're coming over to Europe,
check them out, man. And thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.